Hi guys, hope all of you are doing well. Medicine with Sultana here. Today I will explain the causes of negativity of the intrapleural pressure. Okay, we have three main causes for the negativity of the intrapleural pressure. The first cause is the elasticity of the lungs, and the second cause is the elasticity of the chest wall. Now, the elasticity of the lungs, it occurs by the continuous tendency of the lungs to recoil inwards, which since the lungs is made up of elastic fibers which is present in the lung parenchyma. These elastic fibers are collagen and elastin. This collagen and elastin makes the lung a very elastic substance like a rubber band. Now, rubber band tends to be elastic. If we pull it outwards, it tends to recoil inwards again to its original position. Similarly, the lungs also acts in the same manner due to the components in it such as collagen and elastin. Okay, now next is the elasticity of the chest wall, the continuous tendency of the chest wall to expand outwards. Now, the elasticity of the lungs tends to come inwards. You can see in this image, it tends to come inwards, while the elasticity of the chest wall is to go outwards. This creates a negative pressure in the pleura. Okay, this inward and outward movement of the lungs and the chest wall respectively. Now, what is the reason for the elasticity of the chest wall? By the elasticity of its muscles, of its tendons and the ligaments. The chest wall have the external intercostal muscles, internal intercostal muscles to expand outwards. Okay, and now these are some minor things. Main thing for the negativity of the intrapleural pressure is the surface tension of fluid lining the alveoli. We all know that the pleural cavity has pleural fluid in it. Now this pleural fluid, like continuously it is hitting the air and it is related with the air. This creates a air fluid interface. Now before going to that, I first want to explain the chemistry behind the intermolecular attraction behind water. Now, water is H2O molecule. Okay, the hydrogen creates a bonding with oxygen. Okay, now before explaining the air fluid interface, I want to explain the intermolecular attraction between molecules, okay, between water molecules. Now, this is a H2O molecule, okay, H2O molecule. There's 2H and oxygen. This is a water molecule. Now, the intermolecular attraction in water is high due to the hydrogen bonding that occurs between the hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, this is the reason for the intermolecular attraction. Oxygen and hydrogen tends to be attracted to one another. Okay, now this attraction creates a surface tension. For example, check this diagram. In this diagram we can see that this is a water molecule. Okay, these are all water molecules. Now the water molecules are attracted to each other. The water molecules in the center are attracted in all four directions, whereas the water molecule in the upper layer, which is in the air fluid interface, okay, this tends to be attracted to the opposite and to the bottom ones. So it doesn't attract in the upper direction because there is nothing here. So this creates a surface tension. Tension formed in the air fluid interface is known as surface tension. This surface tension leads to the collapse of the alveoli. It leads to the collapse of the alveoli. And this is a major problem. If the alveoli collapses, it is very, very hard to bring back air inside, and inspiration and expiration becomes very hard. In order to prevent it, we have the surfactant, which I will discuss in another video. I will make a whole video for surfactant. But in this video, I want to explain the intermolecular attraction and the reason behind the surface tension. Okay, this in the alveoli, the surface tension produces an inwardly directed force. You can see like all the force is directed inwards. Okay, this inwardly directed force created by the surface tension reduces the alveolar diameter. That is, it leads to the collapse of alveolar. And in order to prevent that, we have the surfactant. Even with the surfactant, there is surface tension is still present. It doesn't stop surface tension fully. So this surface tension leads to the negative intrapleural pressure. Okay, these are the three reasons for negative intrapleural pressure. Okay, now what are the functions of the intrapleural pressure? It keeps the alveoli open. As I just explained, the surface tension is needed to keep the alveoli open, and this inward recoil of the lungs and the back, outward recoil of the chest wall is necessary to create a negative pressure which keeps the alveoli open. If the alveoli collapses, it's very hard to do inspiration and expiration. So this helps the lung to expand during inspiration by keeping the alveoli open. Okay, it helps in venous and lymphatic return to the heart. I explained this in my previous video. I will put the link here. Okay, how the venous return acts and lymphatic return acts by the negative intrapleural pressure. This is also known as anti-gravity action. Okay, this will be explained in CVS module, cardiovascular module. Okay, and I will put the link here for it. Okay, this is what I wanted to explain in today's topic. Say it once again, revise it. Functions of the intrapleural pressure: it is to keep the alveoli open, and it helps in venous and lymphatic return to the heart. Okay, that is the two functions. Now, the three reasons for the intrapleural pressure is elasticity of the lungs, the inward elasticity of the lungs, and the outward elasticity of the chest wall. And the surface tension of fluid lining the alveoli is due to the intermolecular attraction between the molecules, which occurs at the air-fluid interface. It tends to decrease the surface area of the fluid exposed to air. Okay, this decreases the surface area of the fluid exposed to air because it causes an inwardly directed force that tends to reduce alveolar diameter. So a force that inwardly applies and tends to reduce the alveolar diameter. Okay, so if the alveolar diameter decreases, the air exchange decreases. Okay, so if the air exchange decreases, there will be less air will be stored and less air will be exchanged, and this may lead to tachypnea. Thank you guys, see you in my next video.